airplane because we have the opportunity to take a large group on the airplane with us, and where we sit, we need to put a lot of young men on this football field to see how they react so we can prepare ourselves for the rest of the season and also give us the best opportunity to compete in this football game at a high level.
Have you had a chance to look at Barrett Trotter, their new quarterback, and what does he bring?
Yeah, we've looked at as many of the young men as we possibly can that they have, all the way from offensive linemen, and tried to find snaps that the kids have played in the past. But, you know, the quarterback position for them is much like ours, I would say, regardless of who plays. And I would not be surprised to see a couple. You know, the Trotter kid is, when he's come in, has he thrown a bunch of balls? No. Has he played a lot? No. Very athletic, obviously highly recruited, excited about his opportunity, I'm sure, to come in and lead the Auburn Tigers, which is probably something that where he grew up, he may have grown up wanting to do that his whole life, who knows. So I'm sure he'll be excited about that opportunity. But he's a quality quarterback, and a little different than obviously what Cam Newton was as far as his dynamics with his feet, from what you can see on film. But you know, who knows? Maybe the offense won't change at all. They may want to stay with the sheer athleticism. So you can kind of get in a real chess match in your own mind for those first games. You know, you can go back and say, well, they'll be more like they were 2 years ago. They'll be more like they were last year. You know, we've got good coaches. Auburn has good coaches, and the bottom line is they're going to put their best 11 young men out there on the field, and then they're going to build a scheme that's best for them, to what they believe is best for them at this point, to be able to compete at a high level. So there will be some surprises in game one, which there always is, and how we adjust and how the young men handle it is key.
You build a defensive scheme that you think is best for your program at this time. Why does it? Is it because the personnel is kind of a three-quarter thing fits?
It does, yeah. I think you know, our ability to be able to get Maurice Alexander, Tavares McMillan, Moj, Quinn Garner, Levi, you know, to get those young men out on the field at the same time, along with Bobby, you want to build different packages. Now, when we say we're completely an odd front, not so fast. You're going to see us predominantly in an odd front in certain packages, and then you're going to see us predominantly in an even front in different packages. And when I say that, that's really a credit to the kids, because they've been able to absorb a lot of this new defense as we went through spring, and they've been able to add some different flavor to it as we've gone through camp. Now, how we handle it in game time situations, how good these football players are in game time situations, and what the extent that we can move the calls forward really depends on how we all handle on game day, from coaches to players. And so I believe we're in good shape to present a fairly large package of defense to our opponents, but we'll see how it goes. So we'll be odd, we'll be even, with the attempt to put the best 11 kids on the field every snap.
Have you kept in touch with Jay at all, Jay Bullwed?
You know, I've talked to Jay very, very little since he's left, but I've tracked him. I know where he is. He's obviously had a great year that he was able to be part of last year. And so he's a good man, good family, and look forward to seeing him.
How does Michael Dyer compare to some of the running backs that you faced in the past, and how does he compare with your own running back this year, and what do you have to do to be successful against him?
Well, the biggest thing is you know, first guy in has a real hard time tackling Michael. He's very elusive with power when he wants power and when he needs power. It's very obvious that you know, the runs that he makes, he has not the tallest guy in the world, which he uses to his advantage. So strong, powerful back. You got to game tackle him. He's got great speed. He's got tremendous ability to get to the edge of the defense and hurt you. Watching SEC tape, which again shows you exactly how fast he is. So if anybody doesn't think he's fast, just go ahead and flip on the tape real quick, and you'll understand how fast a young man he is. So he's a well-rounded back. He does it all, and he's going to be a big part of their offense.
What are your thoughts on Quindarius Carr and Emory Blake and Trevon Reed, those three receivers they bring?
Well, again, they're going to be tall. They're going to be fast. They're all going to be able to be playmakers. I'm absolutely sure of it. And you know, they lost some receivers from a year ago, but the young men that they have in there are going to be able to run very well. They're going to have they're going to look the part. They're going to have run tremendous routes, I'm sure. So again, for us, it's not so much of who's who, especially in game one. It's guys understanding that whether it's 89 or 87 or 83, there's number 2, I'm lining up there, and this is what my job description is, and so on and so forth throughout the whole defense. You're not going to look at Auburn University football program right now and say, yep, there's a weak link, let's go take advantage of it. It's not going to happen. So what we have to be able to do is, again, do everything we can to execute, make plays when the opportunity presents itself, and execute on third down is going to be gigantic for us as a football team. Our ability to get stops on third down and our ability to be able to convert on third down is going to be a tremendous difference in a game like this, because we have to be able to stay on the field and we have to be able to get off the field. And that sounds very, simple and easy and clean, but in a game like this, if you can't do that, we will have no opportunity to win, and it's going to be highly, highly emphasized for us as we go through the week. We have to convert when we get to those critical situations. I say it all the time on defense, but I'll say it on offense this week. Third down is the only down. Everything else, you're working yourself to get there. Third down is the only down. You've got to win it to have a chance in a big game like this.
From the start of fall camp till this point, where have you made the most progress on defense?
And I'd like to say in the front 7, but that's against ourselves. So we'll see. We'll see how physical we can be. We'll see how tough we are. We're going to line up against some tough guys in about 5 days. So we'll see. We'll see how tough we are and exactly where we sit. But our depth is improved from what it was a year ago. And physically we looked improved, but I don't believe any of that stuff until I see the numbers against an opponent. On the defensive side of the ball, it's all people flapping their lips until they make plays, so we'll see what happens.
You lost some athletes in the secondary, some good athletes.
Yes.
So how do you feel now with everybody, the way it lines up now?
With our secondary, I feel good. I wish Cameron was with us. Cam has the elbow. He won't be with us, and that's a big blow. It's too bad for him too, because it's not home, but it's somewhat close to home for an opportunity for him to go play. Jumani has come in and done a nice job. Terrell's come in, or Terrence, has come in and done a nice job. Terrell has come in and done a nice job. Now, the idea for them is this week is to fine tune and understand where they fit, not play with so much of a loose mentality, I guess, if you will. Understand where you fit in the scheme. A lot of times when you're a tremendous player in high school, sometimes when you're a tremendous player in junior college, you can walk in and you can get away with so much because the opponent that you're playing against just can't handle you athletically. He's just so so far superior that you can take chances, that you can actually make mistakes with your techniques. Well, that's no longer the case, and the ability for those young men to completely understand that and not have to learn the hard way, which when I say the hard way, I mean getting beat in the back end in the game for a big score, and really wrapping their arms around the fact that this is what I have to do on game day, or it's going to cost my team very, very harshly. So that's the step for them. But I feel better in the back end. We still got work to do, just like we do everywhere else. But I love the way that Nevin Lawson is a leader as a true sophomore. Fantastic young man, and he leads that group. And getting Walter back hopefully will help us take a step in the right direction.
Having Nevin, Tavares, Quinn, Richard, all from the same part of the country, how has that impacted your defense, and how'd you get all those guys out of Miami?
Well, I think it's Corey did a great job here. Javon's jumped in there. T.J. Woods has been involved in the recruiting process in Miami. I'm fortunate to have a couple coaches that are there that played for me in years past. So I think the biggest thing is, like anything else, we'll get more as these kids continually have success. Those young men that have been in our program going on 2 years now have had success on the field. They've had success academically, and they've had success socially. So if you're a high school coach, you're going to look at Utah State and Florida, and you're going to say, yeah, that's a real opportunity, because there's proof that these young men can succeed. So and it's great for them to be able to get back close to home, and obviously the SEC is very important in the state of Florida where these young men grow up, and so for them to be able to know that they have the opportunity to compete against an SEC opponent like we do this week is big for them. So it's somewhere we need to keep recruiting, and we look forward to that opportunity, and these tremendous young men that have been here with us, and they sure like Logan and Cache Valley, I'll tell you that much.
Anything else?
That's it.
All right.
Okay, thanks guys.
Coach.